let's look at this for a moment. This is rather interesting. Albert Einstein said something pretty interesting. He said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. He said, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not a philosophy. This is physics. Match the frequency of the reality you want. Now, what does science and theology teach us? Nothing's created or destroyed. So everything's already here. You see, Jobs and his engineers just had to get on the frequency that this was on, and we haven't. Look at what I'm doing right now. Do you know, I'm here in my studio, and the studio is something that I built in my mind. It was a dream I had. I was sitting out under an umbrella one summer day, and I looked into my backyard and I started to build a picture of this studio. Well, you know, today I have a studio here where I can operate 4 cameras at the same time. Everything that I'm recording is streaming into a computer in another room, different room than I'm in. I have all the lights here. I have everything I want. The man that's running this computer right now for me is in Phoenix, Arizona. Joshua Carr. He's our IT guy. He's a genius when it comes to this stuff, but he's in Phoenix. We have a lady that is watching me do this on her computer in Dallas, Texas. Mikey Steller, who's in charge of creative, is in Dallas, Texas, and she's watching me do this. Now, I had done this yesterday. I've actually done it twice. But she made some suggestions of alterations that I make in the presentation that would help you understand this better. And so I rewrote it. I changed it. I didn't rewrite it. I just altered the whole plan. And I said, I'll do it over again because I liked her suggestions. She's watching this in Dallas, Texas. There's just a little, 10-second delay on it. But she's in Dallas watching it. Josh is in Phoenix watching it. And I believe Sandy Gallagher, my business partner, is in Sun Valley, Idaho, in her condo, and she's watching me do this here. We will take, when this is finished, and distribute it all over the world. Now, I had the image of building this studio where I can broadcast. It's like a mini television set. I can broadcast all over the world from this studio. Now, there's a train not too far from here. I didn't want any sound. I didn't want a train or something outside, a plane going over, interrupt what I was doing. So this is what we call a floating cell. They built the building, and then they built a building inside the building. The building is soundproof. It's all built. It was an image I had in my mind. I found the people to do it. What did we do? We changed energy into energy. Now I want you to think. Match the frequency of the good you desire. Remember I said build the dream in your mind? Well, now we're going to get a little more serious about this. Let's look at this. You are a mass of energy, and you function on frequencies. You are literally a mass of energy. You are. And you function on frequencies. Now, I want you to let lines, horizontal lines, represent the frequency. That represents you, and you're in a high speed of vibration. Now, think of this for a moment. A frequency is a level of vibration. Okay? Let's go back. There you are. You're in a high speed of vibration. Now you change your vibration and the color and the density of that energy leaving your body will change. You can cause it to change color and it will go a long way out if the energy is strong. Okay? A frequency is a level of vibration. The good that you desire is on a frequency. That's what Einstein said. Match the frequency of the reality you want. Now think of this for a moment. There are literally an infinite number of frequencies. There is no end to them. So look at it here. We see all of these lines, and we're going to say they all represent frequencies. Okay? There's an infinite number. Just stop and think of the number of frequencies we got. That's what a phone number is. It's a frequency. It's how you tune in on their frequency. You have to have my number to tune in on my frequency. This is being broadcast on a frequency. Now here's something we really want to understand. Every frequency, or every one, is connected to the one above and the one below. They're connected like the colors of a rainbow. There's no line of demarcation where one stops and the other starts. Now you may be saying, well, what's this got to do with my dream? It's got everything to do with your dream. If you have been stuck, if you have had a difficult time altering your income, if you had a difficult time attracting into your life the relationship or the business that you want, it's because you're on the wrong frequency and you're using the wrong tools. You're going by what you see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Look at what Einstein said. He said the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. This is so true. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. What is the gift? Your higher faculties. You have perception, memory, imagination, reason, intuition, and the will. These are all high mental tools. Through imagination, we can zip ourselves onto a higher frequency. We just use our imagination and build a picture of the good we want. And then we hold that picture with our will. The will is what gives us the idea to focus, to concentrate. When President John Kennedy asked Dr. Wernher von Braun what it would take to build a rocket that would carry man to the moon and bring him back safely to Earth, von Braun said, the will to do it. In other words, you've got to see it and hold the picture in your mind. You will attract everything you need. That's just the way it works. You've got these higher faculties. We want to learn how to use them, okay? It's a beautiful concept. It's an absolutely beautiful concept. Now, I want you to let that X represent where you are. The X represents where you are in your life, okay? Take an honest look at where you are in your life, and you can see how you got there. Take a look at the income you earn. Now, you know people that are earning a lot more money than you, and they're nowhere near as bright as you. You know them. You know people that have built very successful businesses, and they don't seem anywhere near as smart as you. I was talking to Brian Sidorsky on the phone. He has built a very multi-million-dollar business, and he wants me to work with him to go to the world through Junior Achievement, the JCs. They're all over the world. And I said, I'd be glad to. We're going to share this information. Now think. Let's think of this for a moment. Where you are. You know how you got there because you can look back. You can connect the dots looking back. Let each one of those lines represent levels of vibration or levels of awareness. And you know how you got there. You can just see all the footsteps that took you from one place to the other. You know how you got there. Then you think of your dream. And the dream is out there in space. And you have no idea how you're going to get there. Now, when we were little kids, we'd go to our parents or our guardians, Mommy, Daddy, I want, and they were busy, and they'd say, oh, how are you going to get that? Well, of course, we didn't know how we were going to get it. Why don't you be satisfied with what you've got? You should never be satisfied. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. It was dissatisfaction that gave us the incandescent light. It was dissatisfaction that gave us this means of communication. But we grew up with the idea, if you can't get it, forget it. And so 90-some% of the population have forgotten it. And we just let the dream go. But here's what you want to know. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand, because that is the frequency. Match the frequency of the good you desire. Now stay with me. You may want to watch this videotape 100 times until this really sinks in. And through repetition, you'll say, oh, now I see. Now stay with me. Look here for a moment. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. And this union results in the activation, projection of the plots and plans and conditions and circumstance. The moment your belief, when you understand this, our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something. And frequently, if we reevaluate a situation, our belief about it will change. Through watching this, through the repetition of watching what I'm going through here, you change your belief about yourself. That's how I changed my belief. I've never stopped studying for 55 years. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. Well, there's the state you want to fuse with. That's where the dream is. That's a frequency. There is a place. You can use that. You can get your imagination. You can go there. You see? The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. You become one with it. It becomes one with you. And this union results in the activation and projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. When you change your vibration, everything in your world changes. This new state of conscious awareness becomes your home from which you view the world. This new state of conscious awareness becomes your home from which you view the world. You're there in your imagination, and that's how you see it. That's how you see it. It's such a beautiful concept. In your workshop, and if you're observant, you will see outer reality shaping itself upon the model of your imagination. Isn't that beautiful? It is your workshop. That's where it is. This new state of consciousness becomes your home from which you view the world. It is your workshop. And if you're observant, you'll see the outer reality shaping itself upon the model of your imagination. Now watch. This is so important. Just stay with me here. Stay with me. When you move onto a higher frequency, you will be communicating with a world totally foreign to and beyond the reach of your five senses. It's a different world. You cannot communicate there with your sensory factors. Nobody's ever done it before. You're dealing with the unseen. You're dealing at a creative level. You're not going to figure this out with your intellect. You're going to have to use your intuition. You're going to have to follow your feeling. See, intuition is that mental faculty that picks up vibration. You ask a question, the answer's there. That's a law of polarity. This whole universe operates by law. On page 109 that I told you to download the book and read it, there's a quote there by Wernher von Braun. I quoted him in The Secret. He said, the natural laws of this universe are so precise, we don't have any difficulty building spaceships, sending people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. See? When you move on to a higher frequency, you're dealing in a different world. The people you're mixing with don't understand you. They're going to tell you you're crazy. See? You know, if you go back far enough, I think it was Samuel Morse was taken before the United States Congress by some of his good supporters, and they tried to get $30,000 for him to build some wires down and around Maryland where he could stop and start the flow of energy, and he was going to show how you could communicate through wires. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, Dalton Morse code. It helped win the Second World War, by the way. He had a senator stand up in Congress and say they'd be further ahead to give someone $30,000 to build a railroad to the moon. He got more support than Sam Morse got. People didn't understand. What was the problem? Ignorance, not knowing. Now, Sam Morse did a little better than Marconi. When Marconi suggested he was going to send a message from one place to the other, he wasn't even going to use any wires. He was just going to send it through the medium of the molecule on a frequency. They had him checked out in a mental institution. Now, both of them did better than Giordano Bruno, who back around 1600, he was spreading Copernican's theory, who said that this ball wasn't the center of the whole scene of things. They burned poor old Gordy at the stake. Listen, all down through history, whenever a person makes a breakthrough in their immediate environment, the people think they've gone crazy. Well, let's look here for a moment. Okay? There you are there. There's the conscious mind, the subconscious. That's where your intellect is. That's where you get what you want. And then you have the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind, you must understand, is where the paradigm is. And of course you have the body, which is the instrument of the mind. Okay? Now, the law of attraction is always working. It's always working. The law of attraction, though, responds to the paradigm. What do we mean by that? Well, the paradigm, the program, is what controls the vibration that your mind body's in. And it's the vibration you're in that dictates what you attract. What we have to do, if we want to change things, we've got to take and make a new paradigm. We've got to shift the paradigm. I'm writing a book right now with Sandy Gallagher on changing paradigms, paradigm shift. When you do that, then the whole world changes. Then you're operating with a new paradigm, and you start to attract new things. Now look here for a moment. This is rather interesting. There's the drawing, okay? There's the drawing. We'll put the horizontal line across, okay? And we've got the body, okay? Now the body is really the instrument. Here on the conscious level, that's your imaginative mind. That's where the imagination, that's where you go onto that higher frequency, okay? It's beautiful the way it happens. Here you have the universal mind. That's your subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the imaginative mind. The subconscious is the universal mind. Now the body is the instrument of the mind. It is actually the instrument of the mind. And we've got to understand that. Now, our imagination, there's a power flowing into our consciousness. And through our imagination, we build the image of what we want. This is the dream. I see what I want. And I've got this beautiful dream. I impress it upon the subconscious, and it turns into a desire. So you don't get what you want, you get what you desire. Waddell's pointed out in the Science of Getting Rich, the desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without through your actions. Well, that desire is expressed through the instrument of the body because it changes the vibration the body's in. The vibration causes you to act, and the action sets up an attraction. And it's the action-attraction that alters the results. Now think of what we're saying here. The desire alters the vibration. The vibration changes the action. The action sets up an attraction. And that's what changes the results. You see, the law of attraction works intellectually. Your intellectual mind, you start thinking, you'll start attracting more thoughts on that frequency. It operates on an emotional level. You start to attract more energy. You move into a higher vibration. And of course, it changes everything on the physical level. It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Now, remember what we said? Don't go for that goal. Get up here. Okay? Build the picture. Build the big picture. Now let's go back where we left off. Remember when we let that go? We don't want to let it go because we can fill it in. We can literally fill it in. Now the man that made these iPhones and everything, Steve Jobs, he was pretty tuned in, okay? He was pretty tuned in. He had a big goal, and he said, look at this. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. And if you understand the law of vibration, if you stay on the frequency, if you hold the dream in your mind, and you don't let the outside world control you, you will contract everything that you need, and that space will fill in. The way will be shown. I believe that was written in the Bible. And when you get there, here's what you want to understand. You could have gone there. Isn't that a beautiful concept? You could have gone there. You see, you and I only have one problem. Ignorance. We don't understand. You watch this often enough, you're going to get a grip on the law of vibration. It's going to change your life like night and day. It put me in this studio. It's helped me earn millions of dollars. I'll be 82 on my next birthday. I got more energy than most people, 22. I have no intentions of slowing down. I've got this globe in front of me to remind me we are building an organization all over the world. And if you want to work with us, if you want to do what we're doing, you just let us know. Because we've got a great business opportunity. We are teaching and facilitating this all over the world. Do you know that the only thing that slows us down, we're only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination? Wow, that is so good. Weakness of attention, poverty of imagination. Subscribe to YouTube where we are, because we're going to make a lot of these videos, and we'll send them to you. If you're on our list like that, when you get them, they'll come to you. There's a certain group of people automatically get these. As soon as I do them, we send them out. We're not selling these, we're giving them away. I want you to understand what I understand. I've had an absolutely phenomenal life. Along with my business partner, we built a phenomenal company. We operate in over 100 countries, but we haven't even started. We're going to build this so big. We have a phenomenal team of people in our company. We have attracted some of the most beautiful people you'll ever want to meet. You know, it's a funny thing. I have made 2 or 3 versions of this, but I keep altering it and fixing it. I was in a super mall or in a mall the other night, a couple of nights ago, and my wife was buying some cosmetics, and I was just sort of hanging around waiting. And this woman, I could see her circling around. She was pushing a stroller. And she come over and she said, "Do you know who you look like?" And I said, "No, who do I look like?" "You just look like Bob Proctor." And I said, "Really?" I said, "That's because I am Bob." She said, "You're not Bob Proctor." And I said, "No, I'm Bob Proctor." She said, "Show me your identification." Well, I couldn't get over. I thought this woman was a cop or something. So I thought I'd humor. I took out a credit card and showed, "Oh!" And she was going a little nuts. Her name was Shelley. And so I've asked Joshua to send Shelley this video. She loves studying our material. So Shelley, you and all the rest of the people in the world that love our material, God bless you. We want to keep it coming, and we want you to keep studying it. We want to expand the thinking of everybody, but clearly understand the law of vibration. When you understand the law of vibration, the whole world will expand. This is Bob Proctor. Thank you.